How many jerseys of Messi's has Icons sold over time? I mean, roughly.
About 50,000 in total over 2 decades.
Which is a lot, but also not a lot.
We concentrate on every signature, trying to create the most unique or special or interesting way of presenting it, not just banging out a commodity that just gets sold every time.
Welcome to the Trading Cards and Collectibles podcast on the Radcast Network. From chasing grails to calling bluffs and going inside the hobby. Are you ready to collect? Let's get at it. Here is your host, Ryan Alford.
Welcome to Trading Cards and Collectibles here on the Radcast Network. We are your number 3 sports show on Apple Podcasts in the United States. And you know why? Because we go to the best and the brightest, the coolest, the smoothest. Hey, we're going to talk some names that you don't know, you should know, but I'm really pleased to have Dan Jameson. He is the CEO and co-owner of Icons.com. Dan, what's going on at Icons?
Oh, well, we're always excited. We love what we do. So we've been doing it for 26 years now. I took over 16 years ago, so it's not all down to me. But yeah, we've been riding a wave since 1999. We always say we started about four months after Google, so we've been going that long. But yeah, memorabilia has always been my passion, so it's great to put the two things together. I have on my Instagram, so if you go to sort of icons_CEO on Instagram, it says, as a kid, I collected Panini stickers, and now I collect footballers. It literally is what I did as a kid, so I just love it.
It's one of those cultural things that connects people, and I think it's somewhat some natural human behavior of wanting these relics and pieces of things that remind us of, fandom and our fan support of athletes or teams or clubs. And, there's something just intrinsically built into our DNA, it seems.
And also it's totally universal. So Icons has been, trading the world's game, as it were. But when you look at our figures, 98% of our sales are outside of the UK. So we sell to 120 countries around the world. So it really is, it's 24/7. It doesn't go dark. There's somebody somewhere is wanting a piece of their heroes. It's a pleasure to bring it to them.
Talk a little bit about your background, Dan, and building Icons. Walk us through that journey.
I started off in marketing, a bit like you. So I worked in marketing for media brands. Sort of working in all those areas, you got to sort of see each one. And the thing about brands, which I love, is like basically I love them too. So if you have to market it, you're basically marketing to yourself. So one of the things I wanted to show you is I was the junior in the office, in my marketing office for the Observer newspaper. And a fax came through and it said, would you like to partner with Panini to recreate sticker albums from all the World Cups? And I'm like running into the boss's office going, we really need to do this. This is amazing. So many years ago with the people I work with, we created the recreation of all the back catalogues of World Cup albums. And we could add in contemporary match reports, so the actual match reports from the time, and you collected them each week and you put them in a binder and it was great. And in order to go to the Panini Italian vault, they had to go to the vault to check that the films were the same. So they actually took my genuine child completed World Cup sets to sit there in the Panini vault to put them side by side and say, right, yeah, this is what we're buying. And they came back, we recreated it, and I've loved it ever since. At the end, I worked for a digital company that was the owner of Icons. And Icons is in the basement. And they're like, well, you're a strategist. What would you do with this company? And at the time, it was the personal websites of footballers, which is a brilliant idea. But it was about 20 years too early, where they could talk directly to their fans and you could get news and updates straight away. It's like, yeah, it kind of works. But they had a memorabilia shop on the side, and it was that was the thing that had a USP and was tangible, and you can really make something out of it. So basically we redesigned it. We focused on the memorabilia, took more of it in-house and turned it into a retail brand, basically. And then ultimately, they put me in charge, and then ultimately I bought it out with the founder, Edward Freeman, and we own it and run it today.
That's cool, man. I mean, you got to sort of help it pivot, it sounds like, make a bit of a pivot, and then you get a chance to get ownership. I mean, that's what we all want to do, right?
It's the childhood dream, isn't it? You want to get to play with the train set.
Talk to me about the clubs and the teams and, building the licensing agreements and all the nuts and bolts of that.
Yeah, so kind of the best clubs and the best brands are the sort of the best way to communicate with the customers, basically. So if you are aligning yourself with whoever's the best and the brightest in the game in the first place, that's perfect. So 2010, we became FIFA's first ever licensee for the World Cup. And we've had that license ever since. So coming to America, Canada, and Mexico next year is just brilliant for us. We've been with the Champions League for 14 years now. So the official memorabilia brand of the Champions League. And then we started working with the clubs as well. And we currently work with Manchester United and Barcelona, and through our partner, Chelsea and Spurs, and soon Newcastle. Creating high-quality memorabilia, selling it through their channels and talking to their supporters, but reuniting them with their icons.
Cards, you guys ever even debated getting into cards?
Cards are a bit of an international mystery for us, but we did a unique collection with Leo Messi, maybe 13 years ago now, I think, where we produced a kind of 100-card set of all his achievements throughout his life at that point. There were still millions of achievements at that point, but it was basically behind the scenes and family and early photos, because we did it in collaboration with his agents and so on. And then we brought it out, and then we worked with a Japanese company who also then did a signed trading card version using the IP we'd already created. We got a number of them all signed. And then that created a box set that was only sold in Japan. Fast forward, 13 years. So I went to the National in Cleveland last year, and there was a side hall having a soccer trading card sort of side convention. And I stumbled into my cards on display going for like hundreds of dollars. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I spoke to like the number one collector of those cards who'd been chasing the really incredibly small amount of signed ones. And he didn't believe that I was the guy who was doing it. And I was like, look, I have on my phone, here's me in the factory in Italy signing off the original proofs. Here's me and Leo giving the cards a good looking at. Here's me signing things. And he's like, oh my God, it's like meeting the guy who created it in the first place.
Let's talk Messi a little bit.
Okay.
You've got him behind you, one of the most popular athletes on the planet, highly desirable in the memorabilia space worldwide. What a ride. I mean, what an unbelievable player. What an unbelievable icon. I mean, talk about that journey.
It's incredible. It's also not down to me either. We had a guy in Spain called Jesus who was like sort of interconnected to footballers. And he's literally like, there is a guy in Barcelona you got to sign. Come on over. You got to get him. So that's why we did a signing with him when he was 17. And you could already tell that this guy was going to be amazing. I can't say he was going to be the GOAT at that point, but
right.
I know. And it's both luck and skill. So yes, it was. We picked him and we hung on to him, and we've ridden the curves all the way up to the top. We've been the partner of the World Cup for, I don't know, whatever that was, 12, 13 years. Been the partner of Leo for 20 years. And then it comes together in one magical moment where it all literally, and it seems like you're an overnight success, but that is like 2 decades of graft to get to that moment. And then he wins and you're like, that's it, man. I'm done. Mic drop. That's it. Thank you.
How many jerseys of Messi's has Icons sold over time? I mean, roughly.
Roughly, I'd say, let's try and work it out. Probably about 50,000 in total over 2 decades.
Yeah.
But I had an interesting chat
a lot,
with...
but also not a lot. There's scarcity there. You know, you've done it for 20 years and there's only 50,000 out there. I mean, that's just scared. It's a rare thing to hold.
It really brought it home when, unfortunately, Pele died. And I'm speaking to people who have Pele contracts, and I'm like, can I get some and so on? And we're like, yeah, okay, maybe we swap some for Leo. And I'm like, I think the ratio is probably about 8-1 in terms of value. And they're like, how can it be? Pele is the greatest player that ever lived, won 3 World Cups and so on. And I'm like, because you made him sign 2 million shirts. That's the difference. You worked him for so long, for so much, that actually there is scarcity, but there's not that much scarcity in the world of it. He signed so many things for decades and decades and decades. And I'm like, Leo signs a contracted small amount every year, and supply and demand means the price goes up. But I prefer it that way. I'd rather kind of keep it controlled than mass. We concentrate on every signature trying to create the most unique or special or interesting way of presenting it, not just banging out a commodity that just gets sold every time.
That's an interesting point for, our listeners and the strategies that go into that, because that's what creates value and makes something collectible. It's kind of like this fine line of memorabilia with collectability, because, something could be a memorabilia piece, but not necessarily be scarce.
I think it's an interesting point. So I know we always try to learn from the best, and it's sort of Upper Deck have got Michael Jordan, and Upper Deck doubled the price. And I'm saying that's a bit hard. I said, well, we sold the same amount. I'm like, okay, that's like have you ever heard of anything called a Veblen good?
I don't remember why, but I've in the memory books from something.
Yeah, it's basically, it's got an inverse demand curve.
Yeah.
The more expensive it gets, the more demand goes up, the more you want it. And you've got to create that value with sort of scarcity marketing.
Yeah, it is. And that's what's, but it's what drives value and what makes it a good investment, especially with someone like Messi. Like the jersey behind you, what is that from?
That is the 2022 World Cup winning shirt, but it's a replica. It's not the actual thing. But what's special about it is it's dedicated to me and my 2 sons. So it's the first time I'd actually got Leo to write something to my kids. So that's why it's special. And the Diego one is also dedicated to me. My first ever major signing was going to Buenos Aires to meet Diego Maradona,
That's pretty cool.
And he was supposed to not see us for a while, and so we went out into Buenos Aires and got drunk, because it's like we're on tour in Argentina, and then at about midnight we get a phone call saying Diego will see you now. He's at his mum's house. So we're like, okay. So we drive across town, go into this kind of shadowy place, and Diego comes out, and it's like, hi, Diego, can you start signing these things for us? And he's like, yeah, I'll do it now. In his divorce, his then wife sort of couldn't get anything tangibly out of him because he didn't really have any assets left. So she owned his name. So we did the negotiations with her. So Diego is in Buenos Aires, and he's got an Icons exclusive worldwide contract, but it's COVID. So we have to send all the things to him. And his people are like, yeah, we got it. It's fine. It's great. Obviously, you got to send the money now. And we're like, okay, we've dealt with Diego a long time. We'll send him the money. We'll trust him that he's going to send it back. First shipment comes back 5 weeks later, and it's brilliant, and we sell it. It's astonishing, and we've done some amazing things, and we got signing videos, and it's fantastic. We do it again, send all the money, send all the products, and then we hear that Diego's gone into hospital because he had a brain operation, I think, beforehand. And then 10 days later, he passes, and I get a phone call going, Diego's gone. And I'm like, oh my God, that's horrendous. Like, it's horrendous, but where's our stuff? And they're like, we'll have to check. It's kind of crazy around here at the moment. And they come back about 10 minutes later with, just sit down. We're going to tell you what's happened. And it's like, in between his operation and his unfortunate death, he was convalescing, and he signed our stuff. because he'd had a long-term relationship with us. And it was all signed in his house. And all his people worked incredibly hard, and we made it all happen. And we eventually got it out of Argentina, arrived in the UK, and then we got an email saying that British Airways had lost it. And then we're like, look, can you just go and have a look again around Heathrow, try and find it for us? And they came back a day later going, we found it, it's all right. And then they sent it on a van, and the van was delayed, and we're like, oh my God, where is it? And the van had broken down, and they're on a highway, and they had to send another van. So this thing eventually arrives on Christmas Eve in our office, and it's like, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it's trying to find it sort of. It's like this is the greatest collection of
a movie just on this one shipment.
Yeah, nearly killed me. But that's the kind of lengths we go to try and make sure that we have the world's best stuff. It does show you the roller coaster ride that is about these things.
It does. Well, I hope this is the start of our relationship, Dan.
Yeah,
it's been really fun and cool talking with you. Appreciate and am gracious how gracious you are with your time. Obviously, easy to find icons.com. Icons is worldwide and now in the U.S., along with Messi directly. So Leo and Icons bringing soccer, memorabilia, and all the like here. And Dan, really appreciate it, man.
Cheers. Really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone.
Hey, guys, you're to find us, collectibles.show. We'll have links to icons.com. Get out there. I know we got a lot of soccer fans. They're out there. We know you are. And with World Cup, Messi's here, Icons here, it'll be expanding and more throughout the states. And look, we're worldwide, baby. So we appreciate you for listening. We appreciate Dan for coming on. We'll see you next time on Trading Cards and Collectibles. Collectibles.show is where you'll find all of the channels and learn more about what we're doing. And ultimately, hey, we want to hear from you. You do case hits at collectibles.show. We want you to send in your favorite pulls of the week. And here's the difference. This isn't about just value. Hey, we want to see some $10,000 hits. Had a couple of those myself a few months back. But it's not just about the value, it's about what you're collecting. What means something to you? Share a story, share a video of you holding up the card that you hit last week that was your favorite player and you nailed it. So case hits at collectibles.show. Send in those videos. I want to know the stories. We're going to bring them to life here on the show. We're going to do a segment each week once we get rolling and get some videos in where we share that on the show with us. We want to feature you on Collectibles Show.
Thanks for tuning in to the show. Don't forget to follow us on your favorite podcast platform, and don't miss the full video version on YouTube. You can find us at www.collectibles.show or follow Ryan on Instagram at Ryan Olford. Now get out there and collect yours.